Once Upon a Time in Mumbai has a pure 70s vibe. It even has a cabaret song.
Yeah.
How did you build that world?
It was quite a challenge for us. Imagine Delhi girls, and we were doing Delhi films. We were doing Oi Lucky, Khosla Ka Ghosla, Queen, Chiller Party. Chiller Party was very real aesthetic, but yeah, it was set in Bombay. But we were doing such Delhi films and real films, and Delhi films started coming to us. So we said, "Nahi, ye nahi karna. Otherwise, we'll just keep. We'll be typecast."
Yeah, in the words of the industry.
Yeah. So we decided to choose something that we know nothing about. Bombay, 70s, underworld, gangster film, imagine. And it was a big challenge because when we met the director, we realized that the film doesn't have a real aesthetic. It needs to have larger than life characters, which is something we hadn't done till now. So it was a challenge that we took on, and we realized that we'll have to follow the period, the bell bottoms, the high waists, the shiny shoes, the glossy hair, the big glasses, the turtlenecks. But we wanted to keep our Haji Mastan a quiet aesthetic because everything behind was so chaotic and so loud. So that's how we decided to keep him very quiet and just in white. Even his fit was not a real fit. It was a very larger than life, a hero's fit. Double lined safaris with stiff shoulders, so he looks like how Ajay Devgan looked in the film.
So to add a line here, for us, Ajay Devgan was also very interesting because we had made many colorful suits for him through the film. And just few days before the film, we said that this is all not, he's looking fantastic. Ajay Devgan, he looks fabulous. But we decided that we will go with one iconic, and that was the white. And it had such a metaphor. We love storytelling through metaphor. Haji Mastan's childhood was in a coal mine, and for him, he hated black. So for him to be absolutely pure white was a contrast.
And that's a nice thought.
Yeah, we actually followed his biography rather than anything else. I mean, we did do our research with Trishul and all the angry young men films of the 70s with Mr. Bachchan looking so cool. And that's exactly where our research actually started from. And that's how the world of the 70s was built.
And in that cabaret song, I remember they had very last minute decided that this is how it's going to be. And at that point of time, to create the world of an entire film, none of the clothes are things that people are going to get from their home. So everything in that cabaret song had to be designed by them. And Gauhar's look, you want to
Yeah,
elaborate?
it was actually, we decided that everything else is very chaotic in primaries and a lot of stripes and polka dots and colors, and Haji Mastan is in white. So for her, we actually went only metallic. We only gave her gold and silver, and it was a tad inspired by Helen because the song is Monica Oh My Darling, but it was Helen in the 70s with the pencil skirt and the short blouse kind of a top. So, and she looked absolutely amazing at
She
that
did.
time. I think that's one of the first item numbers that came out like that, Gohar looking like that in the gold and the silver.
I think Bhanu Athaiya has been a very big inspiration
Inspiration.
for all of us costume designers because she really created that era and that glamour and glitz in that era. And for us to take from that,
Yeah.
she's been a fantastic inspiration, a teacher for us.
You've also recreated the Mumtaz drape in pink and also that Bobby ka look you've recreated.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they don't look like dress ups. They look real in that world.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
There's a very simple technique to that. In our minds, we did not say, let's create Mumtaz. In our minds, we said, let's create the spirit of Mumtaz. Let's take her confidence, her unapologetic dancing. You know how he danced? She danced in that number wearing Aajkal Tere Mere
Yeah.
Charche.
With the-
In that, yeah. We wanted to take that spirit, that attitude, that brave, bold way of, dancing and, wearing clothes. But we wanted to root it in the reality of our film. So the colors changed, the fabrics changed, the drape also changed. It was inspired by her, but the drape changed quite a bit if you see. So that sort of helped keep the reality of the film, and that's why I think they don't look dress up. Same for Bobby. If you see the Bobby costume, it has a tiny polka dot which makes it look very classy. Ours has a very big polka dot because it's coming from the place that this character, Imran's character, has bought it in the streets of Bombay. And he's bought it for a girl who is not going to wear a tiny skirt, who's not going to wear a shorter top. So the top is longer, the skirt is longer, it's not very fitted. So that she's also little uncomfortable because that was the call for the scene. But yet she's comfortable enough to wear it for him. So I think those kind of things, keeping it grounded and rooted in the reality of the film, made it not dress up.
Also, one small trick, and Rushi and I don't just source things from a store when we are designing a film. That styling bit, sourcing, and then styling it on an actor, of course, part of the job. We do a lot of fabrication ourselves. We have various units, a lot of our clothes get made. So, when we were doing Once Upon a Time in Mumbai, one of the things and tricks that we kept in mind was always that to create that era, we also have to make it look like how it was made then. So we didn't have multi stores at that point of time. Everything was primarily tailored. So everything that you see in the film on all the main and secondary characters are tailored. So there is that finish and the quality that you get when something is tailored on the person. And that's exactly why it looks so real, because it's not just picked up from an online store and put on her. We have made those clothes. So there is that, the era gets sorted there. So in a period film, that's something that one needs to be really, it really helps us.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Is there one detail or accessory that really defines that decade for you, the 70s?
So I think both of us would like to answer that. For me, the 70s and the 60s era, both are about the iconic footwear that we had in that era, and it's something that continues till date. If you look at the platforms, those were created in that era, and in fact there was a particular shoe which had a wavy platform called a formulare, and that has been recreated. There are brands today who are going back, Japanese brands who are going back to that particular wavy. It was an ergonomic platform design which would not made you topple. So that is being revived and it is being used by brands today. So they have created an iconic look in those platforms, and it was something that was there at every desk. It became a pop culture icon at that point of time. Another footwear that we saw at that point of time were hiking boots, and you may be hiking just till the marketplace to buy a newspaper. But Dunham's, Doc Martens, these are shoes that became iconic, and punk and goth culture was completely inspired by that. And one more footwear that was really something that I love myself are wooden heels. They're called the daisies, and wooden heels became inspired from clogs, I'm sure, at some point of time. But how they took a wooden heel and made it so, instead of, as compared to a stiletto, which is very classy, the wooden heel went into everyday clothing. Everybody was wearing a wooden heel, whether it was a man's shoe or a woman's shoe. A little accentuated wooden heel was something that was really iconic. So this footwear, and the fact that even till today we are not able to get away from that style. We really want to be that stylish even now.
It's iconic.
It's iconic.
Yeah.
About you?
I think when I think 70s, I think the high waist bell bottoms, the uneven stripes, and I think the tight shirts with the bell sleeves and the big glasses. But I think for me, it's not a piece, but it's a statement. I think it's the vibe and the attitude which I feel is what we should follow from the 70s. It's completely brave and bold, and it's totally unapologetic.